Welcome back to Atlanta. I'm Pam Oliver with Justin Fields on an absolute tear. The Falcons defense will try to do everything it can to try to slow probably the hottest player in the NFL. But Grady Jarrett believes that given the way Fields has played over the last couple of weeks, it's important that they come out with a sense of urgency. You can't let the guy get you on your heels. The defensive captain told us you also can't go out there half-stepping because the guy is coming. Grady went on to say, when you play a guy like Justin Fields, it's important that you stay where you're supposed to be. Darryl would call that gap integrity, a couple of words that I've really become fond of. Many defenses have learned that this elusive quarterback can really make you look foolish, guys.
We're listening, Moose.
Look at Pam Oliver. Well done, Pam.
Matt Eberflus in his first season as the head coach started off 2-1. They've dropped 6 of 7 since then, though. And Arthur Smith in his second year, his team just one game out of a playoff spot. Here. Knocks him out of field goal range. And we get our first game break of the day. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thank you so much, Joe. Giants, Lions. Daniel Jones says, I'll just keep this one for myself. Extra point, no good. Giants up 6-3.
The Bears are in town. They brought so many fans here to Atlanta one game a few years ago that Matt Ryan had to use a silent count in Atlanta, 20-yard line. So the Bears have this 10-7 lead. We've been talking about Justin Fields, what he's done on the ground. They've committed to designing runs for him. We've seen a bunch more of those today, something they didn't do a ton over the first season plus in the NFL for him. And the numbers over the first 10 weeks on scrambles, #1 in the NFL as well.
And I think that's the scariest part, that scramble situation. You see the athleticism on the scrambles, and then as an offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy says, well, let's try and figure out a way to add more of that with some design runs. But the one that I think has Dean Pease and his defense concerned the most were those QB scrambles on third down.
And Cordero Patterson, of course, drafted as a wide receiver, the Minnesota Vikings, and he has gone all over the place. The Vikings, the Raiders, he's with the Patriots. 2 seasons, though, with the Chicago Bears in 2019 and 20. He was an all-pro punt returner, kick returner both those seasons. More of a gadget guy offensively. But then he comes here to Atlanta, and for the first time in his career is used as a featured running back. And he had a career year last year, more than 1,100 yards. Stunted this year by the knee surgery early on. Looked to be back to his explosive self right there.
And usually it's not a lot of running backs that are your kick returners, you know, mainly wide receivers. You get some defensive backs from time to time, those dynamic guys. You see a couple of running backs around the NFL that are the return guys. But when you can be trusted as a kick return guy, that means you have tremendous vision and you can anticipate and see things that other runners can't. And we had a great example of that on how he saw that lane off to his left when it really looked like the right side was going to be where there was a chance for a big return, and you see something different. So why not, right? Arthur Smith's got him here. Hey, you know what? I've been watching you play for years, and you are phenomenal in the open field on returns. We're going to give you a shot at running back.
Check in with Kurt.
Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Show, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Coach Sean Payton will join me with scores and highlights from the early Week 11 slate. We'll check in on the Bills and Browns from Detroit and the Eagles in Indianapolis. We'll see you at the half.
Boys are back from Qatar. I think it's safe to listen to Christmas music once it becomes about like November 15th. It's safe to grow your Christmas beard around then, too.
Well, that guy's taking a cat nap. He's going to be busy here in the next couple of weeks.
Filling the tank, that's right.
Stealing some sleep when he can.
This game is tied. Sneaks it inside the upright. 17-17.
Points on the opening drive of the half, points on the closing drive of the half for the offense, but they got to figure out in between second half.
Yeah, the only thing they got in the middle there was the long kick return touchdown from Patterson. End of the first half in Atlanta. Stay tuned for the Verizon Halftime right after these messages. Massive as we welcome you back to Atlanta. 17-17, getting ready to start the second half. Bears will have the football, trying to snap this 3-game losing streak, and we welcome you back inside. Joe Davis and Daryl Johnston, and it's an entertaining first half.
It really was. Good quarterback play. I think the big thing is we had some turnover turnovers in the first game, but we also had some explosive plays. The big play by Cordero Patterson. Obviously, when you have a game at 17-17, it's been a competitive first half, but I'm interested to see what happens here in the second half. Which quarterback blinks first here in the second half? Because always remember what was said, more games are lost in the NFL than they are won, and these two teams trying to figure out how to win. Which one is able to carry this through the second half and play well?
Bears are going to have it first. That is kept away from Velus Jones with the big kick return for the Bears in the first half. Down to the field, Pam Oliver.
Yeah, Joe, talking to the Falcons' Arthur Smith, we talked about the end of that first half, and he was very pleased with the way that ended. I turned the conversation to offense, getting something reestablished. He turned the conversation to defense. He says he feels like they're doing a very good job, but he is concerned that they're on the field a little bit too long. Injury note, Falcons defensive end Taquan Graham has a knee injury and is questionable.
At the 25, back down to Pam.
Yeah, Bears head coach Matt Eberflus told me at the half that he said he spoke to the team about finishing on third down, finishing red zone, finishing in 2 minutes. Eberflus also expressed that he wants the team just to be steady. They're in a good spot, but expect a tough physical second half.
All right, Pam, they find themselves in another tight game. It's been one of the issues, finishing those close games. Fox Sports proudly creates and advances fighting chances for all athletes to play and access sports. Angel City Sports provides year-round free adaptive sports opportunities for kids, adults, and veterans with physical disabilities or visual impairments. For more information, visit angelcitysports.org. Bears went 3 and out on their first drive of the second half. They've got it again here from the 20, tied at 17. With Carissa Thompson.
Thank you so much, Joe. So Lions up 17-6. Jamal Williams punches it in from 1 yard out, his third of the day and league-leading 12th touchdown. Lions rolling on the road, 24-6. Joe?
Short gain. It's the former Falcon, Mike Pennell, with a tackle. 8th consecutive run for the Falcons. 2-minute warning in a tie game.
Feeling like this might be my time to shine with you, with you, with you. I got my head out the sunroof. I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing on my mind. You got me stuck on the thought of you. You're making me feel brand new. You're more than the sunshine in my
Tied at 24. Great game today between the Falcons and the Bears. The Falcons have a third down. No, it does not get any bigger than this. Greatest rivalry in college football, and it's number 3 against number 2. Michigan and Ohio State. We'll have it here for you on Fox. A special 3-hour Big Noon kickoff live from the Horseshoe, and then the game at noon Eastern, only on Fox. Now, Justin Fields knows a little something about that. And as ugly as it's been for the Falcons at times, they're going to move to 5-6 with the Bucs at the top of the division, 5-5. It's been a really entertaining game. Now, Justin Fields was doing his thing early on. He led the Bears to 17 consecutive points. Cordero Patterson, his NFL record 9th kick return touchdown. And tight, late. David Montgomery tied it with a touchdown run. That made it 24-24, but it's a Younghoe Koo field goal. And then a Jalen Hawkins interception, the difference at this point.
Yeah, hats off to Dean Pease and his defense, though, because we've seen what Justin Fields has been doing to teams the last 5 or 6 weeks here. Today, this afternoon, 18 for 85 for Justin Fields rushing, less than 5 yards a carry. He talked about gap integrity. He talked about rush lane integrity. The plan that they put in place probably scaled down a little bit because it's a bunch of assignment football when you've got a running quarterback like Justin Fields. So a heck of a job by that Falcons defense today, going up against a guy who's been a game changer against opponents the last month.
Got to run the clock out and want to make sure that we say we're thinking about one of our very favorite Atlantans, Chris Ober, who is a key piece of the Fox family. He needs our thoughts and prayers right now, and you certainly have them from us, Chris, and your whole family does. 27-24. Falcons win this one. And look at that. Within a half game of the Bucs in the NFC South. We'll be right back after this commercial break to wrap up today's game. 27-24. Falcons beat the Bears in Atlanta.